Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another weekly episode. Per usual, got some stuff to show you today. We'll just get right into it. So, not much explanation needed. I found some of the ultra hots, like the latest wave of these, the latest two waves, I guess, of these, at Target. Of course, I did not find the Porsche, so I'm still missing the Porsche, and the Nissan Fairlady Z. I think I'm actually also missing the 73 Ford Falcon XB. I think I got all the others. This is the Plymouth Barracuda Formula S. This is the 71 Dodge Demon. Of course, we're going to open all this stuff. Oop, jeez. I just dropped the 64 Chevy Chevelle SS. We'll see that in the next half. And the 71 Plymouth Roadrunner. The Volkswagen SP2, the custom 69 Volkswagen Squareback. This one's from the previous wave. The 68 Mercury Cougar, which is a casting I collect. And the 70 Pontiac Firebird. So, oh, and I got this one too. This is the Nissan Silvia S14 Drift. I've already shown some of the other cars from this wave, like the Honda Civic Si. I think the Chevy El Camino I've already opened up on the channel. Possibly that Shelby GT500 as well. The Brazilian Dodge Charger, I know I opened up that one. I don't know, I'm confused. But as usual, I've hit a wall with knowing what I have and what I don't. It's caught to maximum capacity, so this is fun. Sometimes I'll show you things, you know, and then I'll show you them again a couple months from now. It'll happen, and that's okay. Whatever, it doesn't matter. All right, so this I actually got from my buddy John. We had our monthly meet today. I'm not going to show anything from that. I just had it, just got done with it. I haven't even like unpacked my stuff. But I did pull this out just to throw this with the Ultra Hots so we could open that up. All right, so there's those. In store, I found some of the Matchbox Collector Series. I found the, with the True Grip tires. I found the Land Rover LR4. I found the Mercedes-Benz W123 wagon. There were tons of each of these hanging there. And then later on, I found a 65 Volkswagen Type 3 Fastback. And then I'm not sure what else is in this set. I think there's the cab over truck for sure. And I don't know if there's another car in it, if there's a fifth or sixth. I'm not really sure. Somebody will comment down below. But we do have these three to open, so that's all right. My buddy Diecast, who I've mentioned on the channel a million times, used to buy green light cases frequently, and I used to do green light unboxings on this channel. He's pretty much stopped doing that now. He's actually been buying Hot Wheels, and he's been buying lots of Hot Wheels, and lots and lots and lots of, like, lots off of eBay of Hot Wheels. And I've been going through as I've been packing them, and I found two cars I was actually missing. So I asked him if I could snag these from him, and he said, yes, absolutely you can. I've got a Ferrari Testarossa. This one is in metal flake silver with the 5-spoke wheels. And then I've got this Porsche 930 on this trash card. Just white with a black hood. And yeah, just those two items. So we're going to open those up. And then I also got from a gentleman on Facebook, Big Elvis. Got this from you. Got it actually a few weeks back. I just haven't shown it yet. I got a bunch of Ultra Reds I still have to open. So I got this. Really cool to get this guy off the list. This is, of course, the 1986 Dodge Conquest. And Ultra Red from, what is this, Premium Release 4. So 2022 Premium Release 4 Ultra Red. So we're going to open up that. And then, speaking of Ultra Reds, I also got this guy. It's Camaro. Yeah, I already have it. Well, the reason why I bought this is because I have this Ultra Red. I've got it loose, actually. Oh, boy. All right, so there are 4 different versions, to my knowledge, 4 different versions of this Ultra Red. And I didn't check before I got this one, and I got a version I already had. But I'm going to keep it anyway because it is still kind of, I guess, rare-ish. They're hard to find just because they're hard to figure out what's what when you're browsing eBay listings. All right, so if you're not familiar with this, there's a version of this with inserted taillights or painted taillights. And you know what? I'm not going to explain that right now. I'll explain it in the second half of the video. I'll get the other Ultra Reds out. I'll explain you which ones I have and what is the one version that I am still missing. I actually don't even know if it really exists. So, but I'm guessing it does. But I'll show you. We'll get into that. All right, so stay tuned for some little Auto World weirdness with, this is License Premium Release 1. Okay, so the oldest License Premium release from Auto World. It's got some weirdness going on with it. And I'll show you that, okay? All right, then I found the Car Culture 2-packs. I've got the Plymouth Cuda and the Plymouth Duster, the Snake and Mongoose set right here. And I got the McLaren set right here. So I already had the 4 GT Race ones. I found those previous, and now I've got the other 2 sets in this wave. Okay, there's that. And then lastly, I got a box from Whatnot. And I actually got these a couple weeks ago and still just haven't shown them. But we got 5 Kyosho, and they are Kyosho Audis. Nothing too crazy, just some basic cars. You're going to have to stay tuned to see what they are. But, yeah, we've got those. So that's pretty much it for this week, what I'm going to show you this week. Again, I got a ton of other content to show. Let's pull together a thumbnail real quick. Why not? Let's do this. Let's do this. This is fun. This is fun. You having to sit here while I do a thumbnail? Hey. Get the glare out. Perfect. All right. So let's go ahead and flip the camera around. Let's get into this stuff up close. It might take a while to go through it just because those Kyoshos we got to unscrew from the base and all that stuff. And I'm excited to check those out. That should be cool, right? Yeah. All right. Stay tuned. All right, guys. So let's start first with some Auto World FYI here. All right. So again, this is License Premium Release 1. Okay. Brand new tool from Auto World at that time. This is the 2011 Hennessy Camaro. This casting was originally supposed to be released in the Auto World True LE line, which was an interesting line from Auto World that kind of started their foray into 1/64 scale. And anyway, there was only one car that ended up actually being released as True LE. It's a true limited edition. I don't have time to get into all of that right now, but we are going to take a look at this. So the reason why it was in, the fact that this was supposed to be in True LE is kind of the reason for some of the things with this casting. Okay, one being the fact that it is like one of the only Auto World castings, one of the very few, anyway, that has an inserted detail for headlights, and you can kind of see those in there, and it also used to have inserted details for taillights. The Ultra Red that you're looking at right now is one that has inserted details for taillights. Somewhere in the run, they decided to not do that anymore. Okay, so they're like, we're not going to do the inserted taillights anymore. They're going to be painted, and I'm going to be able to show you that here. Now, I do have both the regular versions, the version A and version B of the regular vehicle. I've got them both with painted taillights and with inserted taillights. I've got both versions of that, okay? What I'm missing is one version of an Ultra Red, and this is where it gets sort of interesting. I'm going to say the most common Ultra Red to find probably for this release is going to be this one right here. This is that version of the Camaro. See, it's got inserted details for the headlights, but the taillights are painted. They are not an inserted little piece. We can take a look at the date on the bottom here. The manufacturer date, according to this, is 3/31/2014. And I don't know if these are actually the dates that they're actually made, but I think they're somewhere close to the date that production begins, or at least the date that these bases are made, because they don't, I believe they do not print on here after the casting is already put together. Okay, anywho, so this would be likely the most common version. If you're looking for these on eBay, this is the one that you'll probably see most. One that people do try to go after, though, is this one with the red seats, or orange seats, I guess reddish. This would be the red seat ultra red variation, okay? This one also has the inserted headlights, and then this one has painted taillights. So there's no difference between this one and this one except for the interior. And the other thing about this casting is they are screwed together. So if you do not find one that you're opening in the package, I guess it technically is possible that someone could take the interior from the, I believe it was the version B car that had the red seats, and they could possibly put it into this car and fake it. And then, in fact, that almost is what this looks like, because it looks like it has a strip screw. But I did pull this one out of package, so I know for sure it's legit red seat ultra red. And I think I have a backup one packaged anyway. So this is kind of one of these cars that I get whatever version. If I find a rare one, I do pick it up. All right. Then we got this one here. This would have been one of the earlier releases. It has to be earlier in production because they stopped doing it, right, at some point. So this one has the black interior, and then it has the inserted details for headlights and the inserted details for the taillights, okay? You can see the rear of this vehicle looks slightly different, that deeper red in there, and that's because there actually is an inserted piece for that taillight. We can look at the date on the bottom, and the date is 6/15/2013, as opposed to this, which is 3/31/2014, and this one, which is also 3/31/2014 for both variations, black interior and red seat interior. Are we having fun? All right, so this version right here on card is the exact version of this. I can't see the date. I don't think they put a date on the, oh, they do. Yeah, 6/15/2013. So that is one way that you can probably parse out what it's going to be by either looking at the back of the card and checking out the date. And if it's in 2013, it's probably, or if it's like that first run that probably took place around June of 2013, it's probably going to have the inserted details for the taillights if you're looking for it. I don't know actually what's more rare and what's not. I do know that, you know, it's likely that the most common one is this because it seems to be the one that I see most often. But I need to find this with the red seats if it exists. And I technically don't know if it exists or not. So if you're an Auto World collector and you have one of these, check it out and let me know what you got. And I would be very, very curious to find out what you have. So I'm on the hunt still for one of those. I don't really peruse. It's hard to look at them on eBay because the pictures that people take on eBay, sometimes you can't even see the interior. So it's like, I don't know, it's difficult. But I'll have to take a look at some dates and stuff like that and see if I can find some stuff. So I've got two, I think, I for sure have two of this one now, this inserted taillight one. I'm pretty sure I got two red seat variations of that. And this one might be the one I only have one of because I just got one and I didn't really ever pursue getting another one. I'll have to check my spreadsheet to know for sure, but there you go. All right, next, we're going to open an ultra red though. We got this Dodge Conquest. 1986 Dodge Conquest TSI in red, well, in ultra red. So this is the ultra red for these release. This is 2022 release for, this is on the version A card, not that it matters, but card's trashed, but you know, I don't care about that, and that's why I got a real good buddy price on this thing, because it's got a trash card. I love when cars get wrecked in store or in the boxes. I actually love shipping damage. That's fantastic for me. As long as the car's good, it allows me to get these at a less expensive price. So yeah, we got white tires. We got a white base. We got a white interior. We got the ultra red body. And I don't know if there's anything weird going on under the hood, but we'll take a peek. Nope, nothing. Every once in a while you'll see something weird under there. Like a white engine, but not in this particular case. This looks good. Looks really good. So one thing you will notice by looking at these older Ultra Reds, look at the difference in color. See how much more like glossy and shiny, and it's got more depth, the older Ultra Reds did, compared to some of the newer ones. So, funny thing is, I did talk to the guys at Round 2 about this, and they are trying to get the Ultra Red paint back to its original glossy, deep-looking glory. This almost looks like this is like Ultra Red painted over white. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but it does have kind of a different look to it. And you'll notice there's shade variations of Ultra Reds throughout the years and different releases and stuff like that. It just looks different. So not sure what exactly is going on there, but I know that they're trying to get it back to the way it looked originally. So that's awesome that they care about that and that they're trying to do that. I really do appreciate that. That's awesome. All right. Moving on from Auto World. So sorry if that bored you, but it is what it is. Let's get into the Hot Wheels portion of this video. And what we got here is these Car Culture 2-packs. These things are such an insane amount of packaging for 2 little cars. I mean, the card art's nice, I suppose, but I mean, this is just, it's massive. So check that out, and the car's out. I mean, is there really much to talk about with these? I'm sure they're like slightly different, or whatever yellow one is slightly different. Or both of these are probably like, there's some weird little difference in shade of color, of paint, or something in comparison with the previous released ones. But we've seen these cars released quite a few times, right? The Snake and Mongoose, but they're popular, so I get it. I mean, what? Is this one not open? Why is it not opening? Oh, there it goes. All right, that was stuck for a second. They open their drag racing car, and they are cool. Okay, they are cool. I like the castings. They are neat. They like how the big fat meat drag tires on the back and pizza cutters on the front. And of course, they roll real well because they're Hot Wheels. And yeah, I really don't know what else to say about these, other than they are popular. And these were kind of difficult to get a hold of. They don't sit around at Target. Like, they got bought fast, and they would show up. The only reason why I found them is because I found a fresh case of these that just got pegged and was able to pick up a 2-pack. So that's my story with that. And then I was also able to get the McLaren set. Now, this set hasn't been hanging around on there either, but I have seen more of these than I've seen the Snake and Mongoose sit around. So we got the McLaren Senna and the McLaren 720S. And I think the repeat is that one. Is that the case? I can't remember anymore. I told you I'm at capacity with this stuff. Like, I'm full. The brain has said you have more cars than I care to remember. Now it's getting comical almost. Plus, when you start getting rid of stuff too, you kind of forget of what I got rid of, what I didn't. That also can cause issues. So that's why we got to keep track of some certain things in spreadsheets and stuff like that. That stops us from making mistakes. But I had a spreadsheet for that other Ultra Red, and I got it anyway because I couldn't remember which version I had, whether it was the red seat one or the not red seat one. Anyway, all right. McLaren Senna looks pretty cool in this black and red color scheme, or black and kind of orangish red. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's car culture. This McLaren looks pretty decent too. I mean, again, not much to say about these. It's hard for me to get excited about some of this stuff now, especially when it comes to like the team transport. Like, I'm kind of done with team transport. And reason being is just like I can't keep collecting those trucks. And it's odd because I had an opportunity to get the latest, greatest set of team transport today, and I just passed on it. I should have just got at least the Nissan or whatever. I think it's the latest and greatest, but whatever. There's some car culture sets I'm still like, get really excited about. But these 2-packs, I mean, they're okay, but they're not great. I actually was more excited about these Ultra Hots. And I swear these Ultra Hot Wheels are like literally the most hated. Oh my God, I forgot to pick up that car off the ground. Are literally the most hated wheel of all time. It seems that way. But I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. It's not the worst wheel of all time. Not by a long shot. But, I mean, every time I mention this series, like, oh, those wheels are so ugly. Are they? I don't know. They look period correct for the time that they came out, for like what you would see on something that was supposedly kind of trying to look futuristic almost. I like them. Okay. And they're the wheels from my childhood. Kind of, like they were on all the cars, like the Countach, they were on the Diablo, they were on the Ferrari Testarossa, they were on the Porsche 959, like those Hot Wheels of my childhood. They were on those cars, and that may be why I have such a soft spot for them. But let's check these out. So we got the Nissan Silvia S14 Drift, and now I believe, is this like a debut of this casting in this set or not? It can't be, right? Because it's copyright date 2019. There we go with the memory thing. All right, so we can take a look at the back of the card real quick, too. And I think I'm not missing any of these as far as I know now. I think I've got them all. So that's good. This was the one I think that I thought I would struggle finding, and I did struggle finding it. But thankfully, a buddy of mine came through and hooked me up at cost, actually cheaper in cost because of tax. Gave me one for $3. So today at the meet. I think these are cool. They're not for everyone. I get it. But they got kind of like a Spectre Flame paint thing going on. They look like the Ultra Hots of old days. And it's just, they got a thing going on. I like the art direction of them. The only ones that don't make sense, or I should say the one, and no, there's two. Is there three? No, I think there's only two. Let's take a look. No, there's only one in this set, and it is this Pontiac Firebird. So why? They should have not put this casting in this at all. First of all, this is the worst. I'm sorry to who designed it, if you ever watch this video, but this is the worst Pontiac Firebird casting, I'm going to say, from any brand ever in this sort of close-ish to 1/64 scale that I've ever seen. It is the worst. This is a Pontiac Firebird casting that I do not collect. I almost didn't even get this, but I'm like, it's a Firebird. It's part of the set. Maybe I'll just get the whole set. So I ended up picking it up, but it's bad. I don't know. The scale is just, it looks ugly. It's not good. And then for this set, it doesn't have Ultra Hot Wheels, which, why would you even, why? Why? Just why? Why would you put this in this set? Like, why would you pick this casting? Like, even if you're like, oh, well, we can't use Ultra Hot Wheels because we don't have Ultra Hot Wheels that are this size, which is probably why they didn't use them on this casting. But then just pick a different tooling to use. Like, why would you use this? Out of all the Firebirds, why me? It's bad. It's real bad. And this came out like, what, around like 2007 or something like that. I've got some of the original versions of this casting. It's just, bleh. Bleh. It's gross. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Shouldn't have even bought it. but I did. So I guess whatever. Still got my money, Mattel. All right, so 68 Plymouth Barracuda Formula S. So this is from the next wave. So, and these kind of showed up back to back. So the first wave we saw tons of. They were out for a while. The second wave seemed to be a quick flash. And then this wave seems to be almost the same, but we're getting it in a shipper. I don't know what's going on. Distribution is still just weird. And this is the Plymouth Barracuda Formula S. It is in like a Spectraflame black, I guess. And it looks kind of cool. So I like this one. And again, it's got the appropriate wheels for the series on it, which makes it nice. And this car gets like full deco treatment. You got taillights, you got headlights. Did these all have that? I guess I never even paid attention. I probably did on the last set of them, but check that out. Headlights, taillights, headlights. Well, taillights. I guess it should. These things are $3. You know, they're 3 times the cost of a standard Hot Wheel, but they do have the special paint, all that stuff, yada yada. Chevy Chevelle SS in blue. This is from wave 3, the third wave, or maybe the second wave if I'm reversed on what came first. Beautiful looking blue on this car with the gold. And I guess this one doesn't have an ultra hot in the back either, but this is somewhat more tolerable because the casting isn't so ugly. And, you know, it's a mismatch wheel. I guess that looks okay. Is that how it's supposed to be? Yeah, just making sure. Yeah, it's like that on the card art. That's the other thing really cool about these is the card art, this old school looking card art. I mean, it's just really cool. So again, yeah, you know, you got the headlight detail actually up there and taillight detail. So these things did get basically a full deco. All right. Mercury Cougar. This is actually a casting I collect. This Mercury Cougar. I've got like every variation of it, including whatever, I think it was a convention one. This is like the tough one to get. So this is in wave 2. And again, I've already shown a couple cars from wave 2 in a previous video. But the 68 Mercury Cougar. In red with the number 68 on it. I like these. I guess I can stop saying it. You guys get the idea. But I'm a fan. I think they're cool. I'll continue to collect this set. I think I'm just going to get all of them always. Custom 69 Volkswagen Squareback. And I don't like do that for a lot of sets. So, you know, wave 3. So that's saying something. These things just have nostalgia for me. This one gets the just like Zamac treatment with a hot pink window. It's funny because normally I'm all about like realism and stuff like that in these cars, but for this line I don't care. I like the way they look. The Volkswagen SP2 in green. This one is from the second wave, or what I believe is the second wave. Did the first wave have full deco? I don't remember it having like headlights and taillights on every casting, but this wave's got them. That's cool. Not the most attractive Volkswagen ever. It is what it is. And then the Plymouth Roadrunner. This one again is another mixed wheel situation. This one is from the third wave. So in like an almost antifreeze color. So let me know in the comments below. I mean, are you collecting these? Do you think they're cool? Do you think they are dumb? Do you hate the Ultra Hot Wheels? Dodge Demon in pink. This thing looks really cool. You know, just let me know. Are you guys picking them up, or are you just being the ones that are just snagging that Porsche and that Nissan Fairlady Z? Because somebody's doing that. Somebody's grabbing all those. I don't blame them necessarily. I'll probably get a couple of each just to have. I'm kind of going through a mental checklist here with these. So yeah, I think I definitely got the Brazilian Dodge Charger. So I think I do have all the ones in this set for sure. And there's 8 cars in it. And then in this set, I think I'm missing 3. The Ford Falcon XB, the Fairlady Z, and the Porsche 934.5. So I'll find them eventually, hopefully. I would imagine they will continue to show up at Target before another wave comes out. Because I don't think there's anything on the horizon for these, as far as I know, for any more waves of these to come out. But I like them, okay? You can make fun of me if you want. Seems like everybody is. My buddy Crazy Todd is like, oh my god, those things are awful. And I'm like, no, they're not. You're wrong. You're just wrong. So you guys let me know if I am wrong or not. And then, so speaking of older Hot Wheels then, let's just take a peek at these real quick. These aren't going to interest you greatly, but this is the Ferrari Testarossa. This is the one in silver. It's actually labeled as a Ferrari Testarossa, but it is the 512M casting, so it's not the original Ferrari Testarossa casting, even though it says it's a Ferrari Testarossa. This came out in this, I think, with both Ultra Hots and this. There's also, so this is like the Metal Flake Silver. There's also like a gray one that looks pretty similar to it as well. Anyway, this turns out this was one I actually was missing. And I was kind of surprised I was actually missing it when I was looking. But yeah, I don't have it. So, and now I do have it. So that's a score. Yeah, definitely for a casting I collect. That's great. That's great. And then this Porsche 930. This one, I just started kind of like keeping track of what I had and what I don't, just to get the models that I don't have. And it came out in a bunch of versions that are really ugly from an artwork perspective. But I will pick these up when I don't have them, and I happen to not have this one. So thanks again, Diecast Room, for hooking it up with that guy. All right, what do we got left? We've got Matchbox, and then we're going to get into some Kyosho. So let's do the Matchbox first, and then we will end the video by looking at those Kyoshos. So Matchy seems to be the one that's hard to get is the cab over pickup, and I wonder if there's only 4. Is there only 4 in this little set? Because I got 2, 1, and I'm missing 3 then, and then there'd be 4. I don't know if there's a 5 or a 6. I guess there's going to be 22 total, right? Because it's 02 of 22. It says on the packaging. But this is the Volkswagen Type 3 Fastback. Again, speaking of retro packaging and retro looking stuff, I think they did a pretty good job with these in making the packaging and stuff look retro. Kind of neat. So we got this little guy here. And these have full decoration situation, it appears. And some of them will have opening features. Some of them will not, I believe. But so they use some opening parts castings for these. And some of them will be non-opening parts castings. They have rubber tires, or as they call them, real grip or true grip. Yeah, true grip tires. But they do have plastic bases, so that does kind of set them apart from a premium Hot Wheel, which is fine. I don't really care whether or not the base is plastic or metal. But yeah, so you got this little guy. He's kind of neat. And then we've got, well, here's the number 1. Guess we should have started with it. 2016 Land Rover LR4. And I believe this series is to celebrate Matchbox 70 years. I guess a lot of the packaging that's coming out is celebrating 70 years of Matchbox. Got to celebrate every little milestone year. So this one is the Land Rover LR4. And I'm racking my brain to try to think if I've ever seen this casting before, and I don't think I have. I think this may be the debut of it. You guys, of course, will do a great job of letting me know if I am wrong, there's a good chance that is the case. And oddly, it's weird because, okay, the door The door's metal, right? Yeah. Okay, so the door's metal, and it opens, obviously. We got the inserted, or not inserted details, painted details, or tampoed details for everything. So what I'm talking about, though, that's this door, the paint on this door is mismatched to the body. It's like way more brighter white. I don't know if that's coming through on your end, but that's how it looks here. And then if you flip it around, the paint is perfect, body to door. It's kind of weird, right? It's a weird little observation. Some of these moving parts, I don't know how I feel about some of the moving parts Matchbox. I mean, I like it. I think they're cool that they open a little bit. But a lot of them have some door gap things and mispainted doors and stuff. Some of the quality just, I get it, they're not expensive or anything. But just, I don't know. Some of the quality just kind of makes me wonder if they shouldn't do it. Like, maybe just leave the door shut. Maybe just not do the opening doors. Give us like premium castings with rubber tires and some of those features and the full deco and all that, but just we don't really need the moving parts, maybe? I don't know. You guys let me know how you feel about it. I just think it doesn't really do much. Well, it doesn't do much for me as a collector, but it might do something, you know, I get it for like people that like to play with the cars, like kids and stuff like that. They might be like, oh wow, yeah, it's got a moving part. This is really cool. So, I don't know. I guess the verdict is sort of out for me, but it wouldn't hurt my feelings if they didn't do moving parts on these. So this one is the 1980 Mercedes-Benz W123 wagon, and I don't think this one has any moving parts. So this is going to be more what I'm talking about. I like these wheels. They are like Hot Wheels Real Riders or True Grip tires, right? It's a Hot Wheels tooled wheel. As I recall, I believe I've seen it on some older Real Rider Hot Wheels, but they used it on both of these. And I think it's a cool little small kind of skinny wheel. And it looks really good on this Mercedes. I like this one. So this is definitely the winner of the set for me. Of course, I don't have the cab over truck, and I don't know if there's anything else. If I find the cab over truck, I will pick it up. So you'll see it when I get it. And these are showing up at Walmart. I do not know if they're showing up anywhere else. At least I haven't seen them anywhere else. So that might be where you will have to find them. I don't know if hobby dealers are getting them. They probably are. But yeah, so there's that. All right, so we're done with that stuff. Now we'll get into these Audis. And we have 5 of them to look at. So, and I am like straight up out of room here. So I'm going to move some stuff to the side. Bear with me. I'm sorry. You know, a professional would probably cut the video right now and spare you guys the time, but I'm not very professional, I guess. All right, so let's go ahead and get into these out. All right, so I got these off of Whatnot. UT Mike was the seller of these Oddities, and I picked them up. They were in his Buy It Now. And I picked them up, you know why? Well, because they just weren't very expensive. So this is the Audi A5. If you're not familiar with Kyosho packaging, I'll show you in the next one. So this one is actually in silver. It is available in white, silver, and blue when it originally came out. These are all from the same Audi series of cars, which is just Audi 164 scale mini car collection 2. It was originally from Japan Booster. Right there. So that's cool. So, and Japan Booster must have opened these up to check them out, because these were originally sold as blind boxes. So this actually has what car is in there. Normally this would be a blind box. You wouldn't know until you actually opened it up. So they must have been, you know, opened up by them. And yeah. We can take one. Let's take this off the base real quick, even though I'm going to put it likely right back on the base. It's one screw in the bottom. These are all the same. They're going to be like that. So plastic base. The wheels on these typically do roll. You typically got some pretty good details all around with Kyosho. Kyoshos are getting kind of pricey. They were always somewhat expensive. I think as time goes on though, and they haven't made anything in 1/64 scale, or at least they don't do it very often, that Kyoshos are kind of getting, I guess, a little bit more expensive to get, it seems. Although I haven't really been hunting for them lately on eBay. That's pretty much the only place I've ever hunted for them. So when I saw these in the Buy It Now on Whatnot for UT Mike, I was like, huh. Yeah, there's a great price on them. I think I paid some of these were like $7. And that's a really good deal for Kyosho, in my opinion. I'm just going to put these back for now because, to be frank with you, I got nowhere to put them, which is kind of why I've delayed showing them, but I figured I got to take a peek at them. So I'm just going to seal that one back up. There you go. There's the packaging. Oh, actually, I shouldn't have really done that. All right, whatever. This next one, according to this, is the Audi S6 in black. Let's see if the boxes all match. Yeah, it does. So the bottoms always come in this like plastic blister thing on a base. They all come with this card that shows what the other three options for colors could be. So obviously we got the black one. It was also available in what looks like white and like a bluish color. And then on the back of the box, they show everything that was in the series total. I wish I had an R8 element. That would have been a cool one to get. He did have this blue R8 available. For some reason, I just don't like that car in that color, so I didn't pick it up. I should have, in hindsight, probably just snagged it, but whatever. I'm not going to pull this off the base now. I'm just going to leave it on the base. We're going to look at just to save time, because this video is getting real long. Yeah, they all are, right? You guys don't really need to see the base, though. They're all going to be pretty much the same. You can take a nice detailed look at it here. A little bit of dust on her, but that's okay. Go ahead and just put that back for now. Actually, I'm just going to do this. We'll set it aside. Like I said, we're saving time. We're saving time. And we'll follow that up with this guy, which is Audi A4 in blue. So this is going to be like an interesting, yeah, like kind of that pale blue. The car was also available in white and red. I would say out of the three colors, I think the blue one's the most interesting, so I'm glad I got that one. And here's this. So all pretty much basic Audis. And looking pretty decent. I like that color. It's kind of nice. So that looks pretty good. Yeah, that's right. We're trying to save time. Just move along. Grab that whole box there. Set her over to the side. The nice thing about these is they are very easy to store in these little boxes. The only thing is you really can't see them, especially if they're not labeled on the outside. Like, it's really hard to tell what's actually in the box, so you do have to open it up. That's the only gripe I would have about them. And maybe why they wouldn't really be successful here in the U.S. if they started doing these blind boxes. I don't know. It'd be interesting. Would you get a blind box at Walmart? Kind of fun. All right, so Audi TT Coupe was also available in orange and blue. Glad I got the white one. There you go there. So, and if you're not familiar with Kyosho, there's a ton of really cool Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Porsches and all sorts of cool cars. A lot of really cool, like, oddball Lamborghinis. And those are some of my favorite Kyosho pieces that I have in my collection, are some weird Lambos. Like the Espada, the Bravo, like just some weird stuff that you don't really see, cut and die cast too much. And you got basic stuff like this, like an Audi TT Coupe, whatever. It's a basic kind of car. basic-ish. So you gotta have it. I gotta have it. I think it's cool. And then lastly, we've got, sadly right now too, all my Kyosho is back in their boxes, in boxes. It's not on display anymore. I swapped out a display just because it had been on display for years, and I just decided to change things up a little bit. I miss it already. A3 Sportback. So this one was available in red, white, and black, and I got the red one. I think I would rather have maybe the black one for this car. Would look the coolest, but that's not bad. I will say, though, with Kyosho, the one thing you do need to be a little bit careful about when you're purchasing these is if they have paint rash. There are some that get it really kind of bad. And what I've noticed a lot, the most common colors are where at least it shows usually is either a gloss red like this or a gloss black. So if you're going to buy a Kyosho, take a real good look at it. And this doesn't really have paint rashing going on, so I can't really, you can see a little bit of bumps and impurities in the paint, but it's not exactly what I'm talking about. But you need to look at that, look for that before you buy or spend a bunch of money on a Kyosho. Just make sure that there's no paint rashing. The colors that seem to be the most safe are any metal flake. So any metal flake paint Kyosho, you pretty much are safe as far as I'm concerned. For all the ones that I have, those are the ones that you're pretty much safe. All right, so that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you for watching another lengthy Diecast Weekly episode. Hopefully you enjoyed the nerdery with the Auto World stuff here at the beginning of the second half, and then we got some Kyosho. It's kind of interesting stuff. You know, Matchbox, we did some Hot Wheels. Kind of went through a few different brands, so that's good. All right, right? I've got tons of other content lined up as far as more Diecast Weekly episodes. I might even have to do like an interim episode in between 2 weeks just to show some stuff or put something together, because I am behind, okay? Way behind in stuff to show. All right, which I suppose is a decent problem to have. All right, thanks again for watching. You guys have a great day.